So, good afternoon and welcome to Simi's first attempt at a cookery programme. Today we're going to be making a Fakeaway chicken Jalfrezi. I'm sure as we've all been through lockdown for the last however many weeks, we've all been getting a bit desperate for some of our favourite takeaway food, and we thought it might be fun to provide everybody with the ingredients for some favourites. So today is going to be Fakeaway chicken Jalfrezi, and I'm just going to be running through how to make that. So with no more ado, let's get started. So I've cheated a wee bit. I've already got my chicken chopped up. You'll have got 2 or 3 chicken breasts in your pack, and you just need to get them sliced up. We're really going to try and keep kitchen equipment to the absolute minimum for these, so chopping board if you've got one. I've got a little knife and a big knife. I gave that a wee sharpen just before we start. I find that I think this is a really cheap kitchen knife from Tesco or something like that, and if you just keep the edge reasonably sharp on it, it makes an awful lot of difference. You don't need spendy kit. One frying pan you'll obviously need. I'm not going to be making the rice, but you'll need a pan for the rice as well. A frying pan or a flat bottom pan or something will be enough to make the sauce. So the first thing that we need to do, we're going to put some spices into the chicken, and we're going to give those a stir around just to kind of coat the meat in the spices, and then cover that over, pop it in the fridge for a wee bit. The technical term for that, if you've never come across it before, is marinating, but it's basically just to let the chicken or the meat pull in some of the flavour, and the whole thing just becomes much more tasty. So to do that, we are going to, what we're going to do, we're going to get a teaspoonful of, that's cumin, let me see, it's all going wrong, so I need a teaspoon, I haven't got one of those. Going to get a teaspoon of cumin. I'm not sure quite how we've put the spices out. You might have a bag with them all already mixed in which case a couple of teaspoons of that spice mix into a bowl, you should be fine. I'm actually going to put a little bit more cumin in because I quite like it. Tastes quite good. So a little bit of cumin, a little bit of coriander. Don't know why the basil's out, it's probably just lying about, and a little bit turmeric. Now I must admit I'm tweaking this. In our recipe we've got 1 teaspoonful of each. I'm putting in slightly more cumin, slightly more coriander, and about half the turmeric, because personally I'm not a massive fan of the taste of turmeric. It's kind of okay up to a point, but I'm not its biggest fan. So we just sprinkle that over the top of the chicken, and I'm going to get a fork because that will make life easier, and I'm just going to sort of mix that around so that all the bits of meat pick up some of the spice mix. My chicken's a little bit wet because, as I say, first time we're doing this, and I realised that one of the things we hadn't organised was actually making sure that whoever was doing the cooking also had all the ingredients. So I had to pull a couple of chicken breasts that we had spare in the freezer and defrost them. So they're a wee bit wetter than yours will be, but they're fine. Absolutely fine, so we'll do that. And that's us. You can put a bit of cling film over that or something, and we'll get that in the fridge. So that's the marinating, so on we need to go to the main event, actually cooking up the food. So for this you're going to need one onion, and you're going to need half of it in the sauce. I've been on a couple of sort of cooking classes with the Glasgow Council and stuff like that over the years, and it's amazing how people have all sorts of weird and wonderful attitudes about how you cut onions and how you do this and how you do that. Basically, it doesn't matter. It's not what your home economics teacher would have told you, but there you go. So you need half the onion for the sauce, and we want to cut it so that we've got fairly big chunks. We want the sort of onion, or I like the onion anyway, to be sort of showing in the sauce. So we want that. We want a couple of garlic cloves. Actually, let's clean the hob just before we started, so it's not quite frying. Get the frying pan on a low to medium heat. You don't really want your onions to burn, you just want them to fry gently until they start to go a little bit kind of golden. Any kind of vegetable oil, just bog standard vegetable oil will do. This is rapeseed oil, but it doesn't really matter. Just nothing that's flavoured. Sesame seed oil or something like that will give it a bit of a flavour. Should probably have waited for that to heat up a bit. You can tell I'm not used to being a TV chef. So we've got our 2 cloves. I'm not sure again, might have given you a bulb of garlic which looks a bit more like that. Get it in your hand, slam it on the table, it'll break open, and in amongst all the little white bits of leaf, you'll get these bad boys, cloves of garlic. And again, I did a cookery class with a lady who was very militant about people should use garlic presses. I've no idea why. I used to have a garlic press back in the day. Somebody bought me as a present when I moved into my first flat or something. Used it a couple of times. I used to spend more time cleaning the garlic press than I ever did actually prepping garlic. So ditched that, it broke long ago. I'm just going to turn this up a bit so we actually get some action. And now I just squash, take the flat of the knife, squash the garlic cloves so they're crushed, and then just very carefully keep your fingers straight, keep them out of the way, and just keep the front of the knife on the blade, on the chopping board, and just move the back of the blade. If you're a really pro chef, you can probably do this double the speed that I can, but I'm more interested in not getting bits of my fingers in my dinner. So that's it, chopped up, squashed up, and that's going to go in there as well. Turn that down now. We've got that, just so that I move around, get things starting to sizzle, that's good. Right, the other thing that's going in here is a green chilli. I am colourblind, I was going to say I'm not colourblind, I am colourblind, but I didn't have any green chilies in the fridge. We've got a somewhat tragic looking red chilli or 2, so that's what we're using. A little bit past our best. heat in chilies is apparently in the seeds. So if you like your curry hot, you can pop some of those seeds in. If you like your food a little bit less spicy, then try and leave the seeds out and just get the meat. And I've just sliced it into 4 long ways, and again, just going to chop it into nice little wee bits, and then that's going in the pan as well. Now, big warning, if you're working with fresh raw chilies, once you've cut them and touch them with your fingers, get your hands washed in cool water, not hot water, cool water, before you touch anything. And whatever you do not go to the toilet or touch your eyes or anything like that until you've washed your hands thoroughly in cool water. The reason for that, giving your hands a good wash after you've been using chilies, is that the oil from the chilies goes onto your fingers and then it stays there. And if you wash your hands in hot water, so I'm told, it opens the pores of your fingers and the oil kind of just gets absorbed into your pores of your skin a wee bit. Don't know if it's true or not, but having accidentally touched myself in the eye or whatever over the years, occasionally with chili oiled hands, I'm not keen on experimenting further to find out whether the theory about cold or hot water is true or not. Right, so we're getting that started. We're just going to keep that going. A couple of minutes. We just need some a little bit of water. So recipe asks for 300 mils of water. That's 300 mils in a jug. If you don't have a jug, then a bog standard mug, as you can see there, will hold about 300 mil. Most mugs that you get, unless it's a huge Sports Direct mug or something like that. But most sort of standard size mugs that you've got lying about the house, assuming you have mugs, will be round about 300 mils. So I'm just moving this around the pan. I don't want things to get burnt. That changes the taste quite a lot. We just want the onions to start getting looking a little bit golden brown. Gently frying things. And the garlic and the chilli is frying up nicely as well. I am just going to go and open the window because the frying is getting a little bit I'll have to start weeping on camera. So. Just while we're waiting for that to happen, I will be honest and say that our kitchen is very rarely, if ever, this tidy. I tidied it up specially for today. Normally it's a bit more gubbins all over the worktop and what have you, but I thought people don't need to see that, so here we go. Whoop. Careful where I'm scratching. Okay. So, water in to the pan, 300 mils, and we're just going to let that start to bubble up. I used the cold water, so I'm just going to turn the heat up. If you want to speed things along, there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't just boil the kettle and use 300 ml of hot water. That's not going to make a massive difference to the whole process. It will just save you a little bit of time getting things up to the boil. So just going to let that come up. Now I started off by saying this was a one pan recipe, and I've just remembered that I lied. You can make it in a one pan, which is actually how I normally do it. What I do is boil this and then pop this out while I do the other thing, but just so I can get the next bit happening, I'm going to get a second pan out and leave this simmering while I crack on with the next bit. So I'm just going to shift that over there. And out comes pan number 2. So it's going on the ring. Going to let that heat up, turn the heat down a little bit, don't want this. So what we're going to do in this pan is fry up some more of the spice mix, just for a little minute or two. So I'm going to put a little bit more oil in here. Probably about a tablespoon if you want to measure things out, maybe 2 tablespoons. Same oil, anything, vegetable oil, just whatever. And I am going to put my spoon away. Tablespoon. So first lot was teaspoons, 3 teaspoons in the chicken. This is tablespoons. So we're going to have a tablespoon of coriander, tablespoon of cumin. Almost out of cumin. We'll get more cumin. Again, you find if you like this recipe and you're making it in future, you buy spices from different places and they sometimes have slightly different strengths, so you just need to play around with how much you put in. And I'm putting in about a teaspoon of turmeric, so that's a tablespoon of coriander, tablespoon of cumin and a teaspoon of turmeric. And we're just going to, we don't want this to burn, we just want it to pull up the oil and to fry just for a minute. Absolutely don't want this up too high, because if we burn it, it'll change the taste and it just doesn't taste nice at all, or it doesn't taste as nice. Right, so what we're going to do at this stage, we want, oh, that's close to my eyes again. So we want about 400 grams. You can use chopped tomatoes in this recipe quite happily. It does, if you want it smooth, you end up either having to use really fine chopped tomatoes or sticking a blender in. So what I suggested was that we use passata for this, which is just sieved chopped tomatoes. You use it for pizza toppings and stuff like that. Just make sure if you're buying passata for this, some of them come, like the ones I quite often get out of Lidl, quite often have herbs in them and things. Don't want that for this. you just want plain passata. And you want about 400 grams. Now, most cans will be about 400 grams. This is actually about 700 grams, so I don't want the whole thing in there. I'm just going to put in about a little more than so there we go, it's bubbling away quite nicely. I should probably have taken that off the ring, but I didn't, so there we go. And my lovely clean kitchen is clean no more. That's okay. Nothing that sponge and some water won't sort in a wee bit. So we're just going to let that simmer away. Clean up some of the spray from that before Katrina gives me a telling off. So we're going to simmer this all for 10 minutes. The onions are just simmering again as well. Just pulling the sauce in. They should definitely not be getting anywhere near dry. So what I think we'll do is fast forward 10 minutes now and get this sorted. So the next thing that we're going to do is get the chicken out of the fridge. And we're going to start combining all the different bits of this together. Before we get that happening, I'm just going to move this onto the back ring here. I'm going to switch this off, and what I'm going to do is prep up. When I get the chicken out, I'm going to be adding onion, pepper and another chilli if you want it to this recipe. This gets chopped up the same way as that one did. I'm not a huge fan of overly spicy food, so one pepper is going to do me, but if you like your food a little bit spicier, second pepper in. And as I say, if you like it really spicy, then you can fire in some of the seeds as well. So what I'm going to do is chop up this onion. And this is going to go in with the chicken when we get that out. Just put that on the side there. And then put the seeds out of this. Red pepper, just a standard red pepper. Generally, seeds in this are not a problem, they're not hot at all, but they can taste a little bit bitter, so I generally try and get them out. Any food. The same, there's quite often a little bit of sort of white pith in the middle of peppers, red, green, yellow, whatever, and you just want to get that pith out of there as well with a knife. Not a big deal if some of it goes in, but it does can make it feel a little bit bitter tasting. Notice it more in things that aren't so heavily spiced. If you're putting them in Italian food and things like that, Chinese, it can really come through. So that's us ready to rock. We've got our peppers. If you're going to put in the other hot chilli, then slice it up and get it ready to go as well. Okay, so what we're going to do, we want the frying pan for the chicken. So we've got the tomato here, just picking up all that flavour. So now we're going to put the onion and water mix in there, and that's going to get stirred around. That can just sit back on the heat. Turn that one off. I'll put this one back on. So just have a bit of a ring faff here. Can't beat a bit of ring faff. Right, so we've got our chicken. We want frying pan on here. It's still got some of the stuff from the other the onion mix, but that's okay. We're going to give this a good glug of oil. Same oil, vegetable oil, whatever you've got lying about. Just pick up the gun, chop the bottom of the pan, and then we're going to get the chicken out. It's been sitting in its spices. Unwrap it, and just going to pop one in. Just putting a couple in just to see how they go. Yep, that should do us. In it can go. So get it spaced out in the bottom of the pan. Get that frying. Oh my gosh, that smells absolutely delish. Sorry about that. And lost my notes. Sorry. So what I want to do first of all is just keep moving this chicken around till you can see it. You see it sort of goes from looking clear to looking slightly white through the spice mix. I'm sure most, if not all of you, have fried chicken before, so you're just wanting it turned and sort of the surface of it just cooked up. My mum used to always talk about sealing meat, to sort of frying the top layer to seal in the flavour. I've heard other folks subsequently say that that's not actually a thing. Doesn't really make any difference to the flavour, but old habits die hard, so I still do it. There we go. And then I'm going to pop a little bit more, just a wee splash of oil in there. Leaving chicken through the edges for a bit. And then we're going to pop in the onion and the pepper. That's going to all go in there. We're leaving food. Now, the trick here is that we just want to keep this moving. We don't want it to get it burnt. But we want to keep sort of frying this all until the onions and the peppers start to soften up, so they stop being raw and they start to sort of be cooked essentially. Can't give you a specific time for that. Probably going to be less than 5 minutes. But just keep an eye on it. You can always just carefully pop a bit of pepper out, and future weeks we're going to try doing a few different things. We're going to do pizza, we're going to do sweet and sour chicken, we're going to do baked beans, so baked beans that you can do at home. They taste so much better, I think anyway, than the stuff that slops out of a can. Just got so much more richer taste, not so gloopy. And we might try doing some of those as a live video, but we thought with this first one we'll just record it and see how it goes. So if the kitchen goes on fire or I have a breakdown or something, if it all goes badly wrong, then we can edit those bits out while I'm running about the kitchen screaming. And our thought is that if this works, there's no need just that we particular reason why we should stop it after lockdown. So if you guys have been experimenting with, I heard somebody had been working on a recipe for a McDonald's Big Mac sauce during lockdown. So if you want to share any recipes that you've got, your favourite foods, then we can do that, and we can either have a go at your recipe, or if you're feeling confident, you can record it and we can stick your video up. No reason why you can't do that. So let's have a read. So they're starting to soften up. So what I'm going to do now is that tomato sauce that's been bubbling away. Whoa, it is bubbly. It's going in your pan. Starting to look and smell. Like chicken Jalfrezi. I'm going to wait and say like chicken tikka masala. Just forgetting what I was cooking now. Doesn't look anything like chicken tikka masala. Let's just turn this down a bit. So there we go. So that's us starting to get towards having chicken Jalfrezi. Now, we've got one more thing to add to this. I'm going to let this cook for about 5 minutes or so. Maybe a little bit more actually. Yeah, so we'll let it cook for a little bit longer. the thing with these dishes is if you've got the time to let them cook for a wee bit longer and they don't burn, the flavour just tends to become a bit more complex, or I don't know what the best word for it is. Instead of just tasting like raw spices, everything starts, all the flavours in there start to kind of mingle together, and you just get a much better flavour. If it's starting, ours is starting to get a little bit thick here, and that's easily remedied. Just add, don't put too much in, just add a little bit of water, thin it down a little bit. That's not a problem in the slightest. And if you need more water, that's fine. Pretty conservative. You kind of know what your Indian restaurant serves you, this thickness of it. So you can just keep an eye on it, and if it starts to get a bit too thick, just water it down a little bit, just a wee splash of water, stir it around, and just keep doing that. Right, so we're going to have another little pause. We're going to let that cook. Just keep an eye on it, keep stirring it for about 10 minutes, just moving it around the pan, making sure that it's not getting stuck to the bottom at all. So, let that simmer for 10 minutes. And the one last thing we want to do is we want to add 2 teaspoons of garam masala. Kept this, I'm going to add a little bit more, because mine is quite old, so it's kind of losing its flavour a wee bit, and we're just going to stir that through and give that another couple of minutes. We just want it to cook long enough to sort of lose the powderiness of that garam masala, and just let it sort of get absorbed into the sauce again. And that's us pretty much ready to go. Just going to add a little bit more water because mine's thickened up a bit while it's been simmering. You can see I'm not really, oh man, once you add that garam masala you can really just, it's a wonderful, wonderful smell coming off this pan now. It's quite amazing. Hopefully if you're making the same recipe, you're having the same feeling, and not, oh my god, what have I made? You know what, don't always get 100% success rate, so if it goes a bit peat-tong, if it's edible, eat it. If it's not, put it in the bin. Give it another go, tweak the recipe. You can play about with how much spice you put in, make it a bit stronger, a bit weaker. As I say, like my packet of garam masala is probably about a year or so old now, and it's probably losing some of it. Still smells great, but it's probably losing some of the flavour a wee bit. So it just doesn't kind of add as much flavour. I need to put a bit more in. And you can always toss a few more spices in. If it's really not working, just add a little bit more in. Just to sort of pick up that flavour a little bit. The other thing I've sometimes done, and I've got a funny feeling I might have said this in the recipe sheet that we gave out, is instead of just using water in the onion mix, is to use a little vegetable stock, vegetable stock pot, like one of these sorts of things, or a stock cube, a bog standard Knorr stock pot, and that just kind of adds a wee bit of flavour to it as well, just kind of rounds out the flavour. You know what, at the end of the day, it's your food, it's your mouth, so and you want to put in your mouth what you think tastes good. So if you prefer it with or without more spice, with or without more chilli, with or without a bit of stock in it, do it. It's your food. You make it taste how you want. Don't let the food Nazis tell you what to eat. Looks great, smells great, I hope it tastes great. While that's just kind of simmering away, I'm not going to make rice just now because, as I say, I've recorded this earlier. That just needs a couple more minutes, but just before we rice. So rice is sometimes people find it hard to get rice working. This is the way it usually works for me. Get a measure, a cup, a glass, or however much rice you think you need. 1 measure of rice in the pan, 2 measures of cold water in the pan. If you think your rice needs it, you can give it a little bit of a wash in a sieve or something. I don't always do that, I'll be honest. Heat up, low heat. You just want it bubbling away. Don't stir it, don't muck about with it. Just leave it with the lid on. Keep an eye on it. Once it's absorbed more or less all the liquid, take a little grain. Is it cooked? You know, is it soft as you want it? If it's not, just add a little bit more water, and just leave the rice be. People sometimes stir rice. When you stir rice, you make it sticky. If you just leave it to pull in all the water over a really gentle heat, it shouldn't start going all sort of sticky and gungy. And that sort of 2-to-1 ratio, whatever you use, quantity of rice, double that of cold water. As I say, that usually works for me if I'm making rice to go with sort of Indian or Chinese food or something like that. That's it. This is ready to go. We're going to go and got about 2 hours to go till dinner time. So I'm going to take this off the heat and just let it cool down, and we'll reheat it a bit when we come to dinner time. Before that, I should really taste it. He says, desperately hoping above hope that this is going to taste like chicken Jalfrezi. It's also going to be really, really hot. Yep, that tastes tastes reasonably like chicken Jalfrezi. Let us know how you got on. Tell us if you've got any tips or tricks for making it better. Hopefully it works for you, hopefully you enjoy the programme, and we'll see you soon.